Welcome to On the Trail. I'm Steve Evans. Now, if you guys have been watching my videos, you're going to recognize the bridge behind me. And if you don't, it's the entranceway to the Western Uplands Trail. I've been here a number of times, except the difference with this trip is I'm doing 3 nights, 4 days, about 75 kilometers, and I'm going on the entire outer loop. As I mentioned, I've been on this trail many times. And the difference, like I said, is that this trail, or this trip, is going to consist of the entire outer loop. The way the Western Uplands Trail works is that it's 3 loops, basically small, medium, large. And I've spent the last 2 trips here just on the small one. So I've finally taken the time off work, packed my gear, and I'm going to spend 4 days. The plan is as follows. To do the trail clockwise, first day is going to be about 13 kilometers, and I'm going to stay at North Maggie Lake. The remainder of the days are 20 kilometers each, which means the day after I'll hike 20 kilometers each and stay at Weed Lake. I'll hike about 20 kilometers again, stay at Rainbow, and then it'll be a 20-kilometer hike. It's Friday at about 1:45. Hopefully get out Monday night. First part of this trail is obviously well worn because it's quite popular on the shorter loop, but it's generally just some easy ups and downs. Trail is clear. I almost don't even need the trail markers when you've got a patch like this burned into the earth. It's quite the dam that's been built here. Oh, guys, the mosquitoes, if you can see them, are so bad that I need to put on my bug net. So at about an hour in, come to a nice little, let's call it a creek, into a waterfall. I actually specifically remember crossing this on my beer packing trip a couple years ago with my buddy Jason. Oh, Mr. Snakey. Oh, he's a fatso for how early it is in the season. So about hour 15 minutes in, and you come to Maple Leaf Lake, which is the first lake that has campsites if taking the Western Uplands Trail clockwise. So typically what happens is the trail will turn around and there'll be separate sub-trails, let's say, or side trails, sorry, that would take you to the campsite. So with my bug net on, my Uncle Ben's formula, it's pretty good. Time 4 o'clock, made it to Hare Lake, about 2 hours 15 minutes, and we got a few more hours to get up. As you come down the little, let's call it a hill, come out to Hardy Lake. It's quite a nice view. Get a little bit of the breeze off the lake, cool you down, and if you just head over to the right up there, I believe you're gonna hit some campsites. And here is Steep Rise Lake. I think it's probably pretty self-explanatory why they called it that. So, 5:38, we arrive at the north end of Maggie Lake. Now this is the site that's just directly below where you head north to continue the trail. So we're looking at about just under 4 hours to get here. And the site looks fantastic, to be honest. It's got a nice bench, little cooking grill. What the hell is this? Nice. Even comes with a saw. Alright, so basically all set up now. I got a nice big fire going to get all these black flies and mosquitoes away from me. I used that camp saw that I found to cut a whole bunch of wood, and I found some dead branches here. So I'm basically just gonna relax for the rest of the night. It's about 7 o'clock. For those of you guys who wonder what my camp setup looks like, there's my quilt in there with my pillow. Got my pajamas laid out with my socks and my bag. It's not a whole lot of gear. So there's my campsite. You can see that if you wanted to go for a dip, this would definitely be the ideal place. Very beautiful here. Just fantastic. I don't know if you're going to want to go swimming in here. Good morning, guys. It's day number 2. It's about 10 to 7 right now. I was up at 6:30. I slept all through the night except I had this crazy bear nightmare that left me kind of screaming in my sleep. I think I woke up some of the neighbors. Anyway, other than that, it's pretty good. My back's a little sore because I'm out of shape. I've already got all my stuff not packed up, but in the tent, and the reason why is because there's about 10,000 mosquitoes waiting for me. So I woke up half an hour ago, tried to get it while it was a little bit chillier out, and that allows them to sleep a little bit longer before they hold on to me and take me off to their wonderful land of blood-sucking hell. I'm gonna pack up and get on the trail. I got a long day today. Time to brush my teeth. Ten to 8. Just hopping on the trail now, heading north, and I believe by the time I hit the junction where the main path heads north, where you can take the trail around to the west side of Maggie, I'll find out exactly what campsite I actually stayed at. Would appear that this would be a good place for some moose to be grabbing a bite in the morning. So we're just coming up on the second loop now. It's 9 o'clock, so we're about maybe an hour 15 in. The terrain is getting a little bit more rugged, I guess, but nothing near what I've experienced in the past, so hopefully we'll make some good time. And those of you guys who are familiar with this trail, you know about Beans Boulder, which is a large, isolated glacial erratic. At least that's what it says on the map. And it's right here, sitting in the middle of nowhere, kinda. Is this guy getting ready to attack or what? Whoa! So we've made it to Clara Lake in literally exactly 4 hours from my last campsite. What I'm going to do is, because I've probably hiked about 10k so far, my knees are getting a little sore, my calves are tight. I'm going to set my tent up because the bugs are bad. I'm going to have a nap for about an hour, maybe have a small fire, you know, just relax. Well, I left Clara Lake about 45 minutes ago and I scrubbed off 3 kilometers so far. That's pretty good. And at one point the trail goes and cuts into a portage, and now we're at the junction between the second and the infamous third loop. I think I've got about 8k left. I've done roughly 13 today. So 8, maybe 3 more hours. That or you'll find me on the side of the road with my legs exploding. If you've got the energy, hopefully you do, to make the climb up to what's called Lookout in Algonquin Park. This is the view that you're going to get. I don't know if the camera does it justice. There's quite a few trees, but the view just past that is quite spectacular. Alright guys, I just rolled into the campsite. It's 6 o'clock on the dot. I didn't stay at Weed Lake. As a matter of fact, I didn't even stay at the first campsite on Islet Lake either. It's a little bit too small, a little bit too buggy. So I found this one. It's the second one. So I haven't worked out my trail mileage yet and my timing, but I will later on. First thing I want to do is set up my tent and get some water boiling and get some food in me hang my bear bag. So today was a tough day for me. It was 8.5 hours of hiking, covered 22.5 kilometers. So that either means that tomorrow will be slightly shorter by about 3 kilometers, or I'll go a little bit further, depending on how the terrain is. Running low on battery though, and I want to make sure you guys catch the rest of the trip. So I'll check in with you guys tomorrow morning.
Good morning, everyone. Day number 3. Very exciting. My body is extremely sore. It is 7:39. I've already been up and about a little bit. It was a little bit chilly this morning, and the bugs were mellow, let's call it. So I wanted to get all my camp stuff done. One thing I wasn't going to share with you, but now decided I am, is that last night while hanging my bear bag, I tripped on my a tree stump, and I fell on my butt, and a piece of wood stuck through my pants, through my underwear, and cut my butt, and I have a big cut on my butt. Now, one thing I want to share with you guys is first aid is already difficult when in the backcountry. First aid on your butt is something that every man should have to try at one point in their life. Very difficult.
Alright everyone, we're actually hitting the trail precisely 8:30, 8:31. Heading north towards, let's say, the most northern part of the Western Uplands Trail, at which point we'll turn around, start heading back to the car via the eastern side of this loop. Alright, so here at the northern terminus, let's call it, I'll make that up. You've got your choice of heading back to Islay Lake, going over here to Rain Lake, which is basically takes you out to the north end of the Western Uplands backpacking trail, or going over there to Ushkaday Lake, which is where I'm headed. So from now on I'll be heading generally in the south direction, and I might actually be running. These mosquitoes are out of control this morning. You gotta love these maps they have at all these junctions. Might be a little bit hard to see because of the glare, but we're right there, and we're headed over here tonight. So I'm gonna take the northern section here, as opposed to this kind of offshoot which takes you back to the second loop. What does that say there? 7.6 kilometers. I'm doing about 2.5 kilometers an hour. So I'll be there in maybe 3-4 hours. We'll see what the terrain is. Oh man, just saw a huge moose, but I couldn't pull my camera out in time. You can hear him crumbling through the woods there. So it's about 12:30. I've been hiking for about 3.5 hours, 4 hours, and just stopped at East End Lake here. Have some lunch, which consists of Pico Bill's mini dry pepperoni and some lemonade powder, water flavored something or other. I probably have another about 6K to the campsite. So I'll hang out here for 15 minutes, rest my legs, and then probably push all the way through. Hopefully get there by about. Alright guys, it's official. The third loop is complete. And now, here I meet back up with the second loop. So we made it to Rainbow Lake. This is my site for the night, but, well, my booked site for the night, but it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a little bit early. I made pretty good time. I see about 3.5 kilometers down is Susan Lake, and it's got 3 spots. So I'm going to risk it, even though I don't have a site booked there. And that should take me about an hour and a half or something like that. So I'll sit around here for half an hour, leave, and be there by 5. And then that will allow me to have a little bit of a longer day and a shorter hike out tomorrow. Here's the last site on Susan Lake. It's actually too bad. Some guys left a whole bunch of string, a broken fishing pole, some garbage. and two of these things called the amazing pocket chair that I can't for the life of me figure out how they work, or else I would consider maybe taking them with me. I'm just not feeling it. A little bit of a water access issue, and I made amazing time again. So I'm going to head to the next campsite, which is probably about a 45-minute hike. So here's one of the views of Susan Lake from what's called the Lookout, traveling southbound on loop number 2. It's not much further past the campsite I just showed you. Very nice. Well, something went seriously wrong because I saw no campsites, and I'm now at Lupus Lake. The good thing is that there's plenty of firewood here, so I'm gonna have a huge fire. It is 5:30 on the dot, so I've been hiking from, I'll have to calculate that later when my brain is working. Let me pitch my tent and start getting ready. Alright guys, set up my tent right by the water here. Started a fire with the giant cord of wood that they left for me. I did about 8 hours of hiking today, and it really beat me up good. I'm not sure why. It was a long day, and I ended up pumping out 24.4 kilometers. So I gotta rest my legs, but the good thing is that tomorrow I only have about 11 or 12 out, so that my drive home won't make me too tired. I won't have to stop on the side of the road for a nap like I usually do. What do you think? You guys think the bugs are bad or what? Oh my god. Oh man, you know guys, sometimes I amaze myself. Hike all day, my legs are about to explode. I cut my butt cheek open last night. I break down an entire tree with my bare hands into what you see right there. Get my water, set my tent up, yet there's still one question left, unanswered. Is it going to be Kathmandu curry or macaroni and cheese? That man has picked a very bad home, considering how close he is to this fire.
Oh man, I don't even know if you can see that, but there's so many, and they're waiting for me. So it's 5 a.m. I woke up nice and early so that I could avoid the bugs, which clearly did not work. I think I actually hit the temperature range that the black flies like the most. Anyway, I'm going to attempt to go outside and get my stuff and then run back in the tent. Then I'm going to get ready and hopefully be on the trail by about 5:45. That way I can get to the car nice and early. Okay guys, say goodbye to our last campsite of the trip. It's actually 6 o'clock on the dot right now. Mosquitoes are out, which makes me walk faster. And let's see if we can't get out of here in the next 4 or 5 hours. See, the sun is coming up. Waking up all the little animals. Hello, little animals. Man. First loop. We made it, guys. Back to the all too familiar first loop. Let's take a look at the map. I love this thing. So we are obviously right there. We came from there this morning, and we need to make it to there. So, I've actually done this portion before, and I don't know, it's usually around 3 hours or something, so 6:50, 7 o'clock, get to the car by 10, that'll be nice. Alright, we're about 2 hours into the hike. It's 7:51. We just got to, I wish I could learn to say these names. Guskowau Lake. Who knows? But previous trips have been about an hour and a half to this point back to the car. So, be there by 9:30, 10 o'clock, maybe quicker if I really turn up the juice. Oh man! So who remembers this part? I sure do. Was here 4 days ago, 3 nights. Let's take a look here. Love these maps here. So we are there. I traveled in and in and in and in and in. I camped right, no, not there. Kept going round and round and round and round. Camped right there. Oh, then I went off the map. Didn't even realize that. Anyway, guys, it's probably only another about 5 minutes to the car. Let's get the hell out of this area. It's full of bugs. What a hike. I'm on the bridge that indicates the start and the finish of this hike. I did 73 kilometers over 4 days. Today I left at 6 a.m. and it is just coming up to 9 right now, and ended up pumping out 11 kilometers. Now the trail is relatively flat on the southeastern side, let's call it, so I can kind of blame that on why I made such good time, because I'm definitely not in that good shape. Other than that, I'm going to get in my car, go grab a bite to eat. Gear list, video, trail trip report, sorry, all going to be up on the website. If you have any questions, send me an email. I love chatting about hiking. I'm Steve Evans, and I'll see you on the trail.